So the Gardaí have now lowered their standards. We all know that they have got rid of many of the fitness tests that it takes to become a Gardaí. Feels like a lot of things in Ireland are dying, the culture, the heritage, but not only that, the quality and the standard that we actually have is what makes Ireland great. The Western countries, the US, Canada, Ireland, Australia, Europe, we have and we beat the world on quality over quantity and replicating things like the Chinese and the Indians do. We have the best quality of things in the world here. But now even like our Gardaí, our police that have to run and chase criminals will be not able to do that. And they are not fit enough to do that when they join the Gardaí. Okay, this video we're going to be watching today is from Ireland AM. Of course, I used to watch this show every single day for like 15 years, going through secondary school, primary school. It was just on TV, going to school. And this is Tommy, Bo and Miriam take on the old Gardaí fitness test. Okay, the required press-ups and sit-ups. So if you have to do push-ups and you have to do sit-ups, which is very, very easy. I mean, the average person can do a lot of those, are now been scrapped. So we're gonna see what the new fitness test is, and let's hear what it says. I have a second video after as well, talk about the Irish troops returning home, how we should be promoting the Irish troops and not actually, getting rid of them, and actually promoting the culture, in the army and praising them, rather than praising other things that are degenerate in society, this sort of Pride Month and that kind of thing. Let's first listen to the Gardaí fitness test.
One of the things that they're trying to do is they're trying to relax the fitness requirements needed to be a guard. So of the 520 people last year who went through, 162 failed the fitness requirements. So it is a particularly big issue. So
it's not that it's particularly tough, it's just that the recruitments aren't fit enough, guys. One of the requirements for the Gardaí, if you're on the beat, if you're on patrol, is you have to be fit, guys. Hitting the weights and doing some running, it's kind of all you need. The fact that over a quarter of people failed the test obviously means they're not recruiting the correct people. It should be more based on athleticism rather than, I don't know, doing all these stupid tests like, academic tests. I mean, once you join the police, that's when the academic starts, okay? You don't have to be academic to really join the Gardaí at the beginning, but you should be able to learn the Irish culture, the Irish language, so you can speak to people in the native tongue. You should be able to arrest people, learn jiu-jitsu and that kind of thing, boxing,
Up until now, depending on gender and age, you had to do between 16 and 37 sit-ups, and you had to do between 9 and 24 press-ups, and you had to get a bleep test.
In one go. That's tough enough, isn't it?
Tommy, you have to do about 9.
Now, Tommy Bo, I don't know if he's bought and paid for it, but doing 9 push-ups, guys, is extremely easy. Like, if you can't do 10 to 40 push-ups, you have a critical risk of having a heart attack. That's one of the tests done. Anything less than 10 push-ups is you're pretty much at risk of getting a heart attack. That's kind of the general rule of thumb right there. So to say that you couldn't do 40, Tommy Bo is a little bit disingenuous. The guy is a professional athlete, or at least he was. Seems like he's still in good nick. I think he's trying to stand up for the, the lack of the system now. They're trying to get him as like that Trojan horse, the golden boy, who is a fit guy, but recommend that it's not good for the government. They're all bought and paid for, guys. Where absolutely to be fit in the Gardaí is mandatory. At least a little bit, guys. If you're flipping 200 kilos, okay, overweight, obese, maybe you're the laptop guy, maybe the IT guy, okay? But if you're on the beat, if you're walking around, you have to be fit.
Press-ups. Miriam, you have to do 16 sit-ups. So Tommy, 9 press-ups. 1,
I'd struggle with the sit-ups,
2,
I think.
3, 4, 5.
I'm going to break
6,
these mic packs.
7, 8, 9. Okay,
Right,
Tommy's in the
let's do
guards.
sit-ups, right, where are we going?
Tommy's in the guards.
But it's the sit-ups. You're going all the way down. I'd struggle with this.
30,
I think you'll be
40.
there.
Hold on a second.
15.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, the
16.
guards.
God.
Can we go and do the Garda assessment? I'd love to do it.
But it's gone now. It's not there.
Okay, well,
All
what do
right.
you make of it? Do you think that the guards should be scrapping the press-ups, the sit-ups?
I couldn't do a press up to save
And
my
we were
life.
saying, yes, doing that is difficult, but you have to train.
You have
People
to.
shouldn't be
yeah.
just to turn up to the guards and get straight in.
Like
Go
for the leaving,
practice.
you got to practice.
One of the
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Bo said it. You can't just show up to the Gardaí and just expect to join in, just walk through the gates. Let me in. You have to train. You have to be physically fit. There has to be requirements for this kind of stuff, lads. Like, I don't know why they're trying to get rid of everything. Like I said, the quality and standard of things here have just gone to shit. Even the fucking food in Ireland has gone to shit. A lot of the food quality has gone really shitty. I go to, restaurants, Mexican restaurants, Italian places. I go to whatever, different restaurants around my city, and the quality of chicken and beef that used to be there is gone to shit, guys. Now, the next story that I saw is the emotional scenes in Dublin Airport as Irish troops returned home from Lebanon. Amazing to see that 170 troops that were in the 125th Infantry Battalion returned home following a 6-month deployment with the UN in Lebanon. Much love to all the amazing soldiers, guys. I love Rambo. I love all these different, military shows. If it wasn't for YouTube and it wasn't for me, going to college to get a degree in sales, I definitely would have joined the army, would have tried to pursue some sort of special forces career. And it's amazing. They're all legends, guys. Anyone in the military are legends. We don't praise them here enough. I remember speaking to an officer and I said to him, thanks for protecting us. If the shit hits the fan, we're all going to need you guys. And he said, I've been in the officers for 8 years and not one person has said to me, thanks for protecting us. Thanks for freedom. Because a lot of people in Europe, guys, are a bunch of pussies. The EU, a lot of people that just go about drinking their tea and they don't really understand that freedom isn't free. We fight every single day. We fought wars in the past. Thousands, millions of people have died for the freedoms that we have in the Western world today. Freedoms for women, freedoms for flipping gays and different genders of people, and just the whole thing, guys. It's great to see people being free. Okay, absolutely. And this is my kind of thing, is I want to see stuff like this rather than pushing stuff like bullshit, drag queens, drag queen story hour where they're reading, drag queen things to kids and, transgender books. Like, I just don't give a shit about that stuff. And nobody in Ireland gets motivated by that. I don't get motivated by it. I get motivated by firefighters, Garda, flipping, people in the army, and I'm sick of the demoralization, guys. The stuff that they've been trying to push on us for the last 10, 15 years is not anymore. People are awoken to what's going on.
Away from her, very hard getting away from without her, like, well, it's good to be back home on her side now.
Holy crap, that guy looked like Macklemore. Shout out to Macklemore in the army.
It's for Dad to be home.
We're really excited to have Daddy home today. It's been a long time, but we're extremely proud of him and all of the troops that have been out there. So huge excitement in our household today.
Really excited. It's a mixed emotions, as you can see here today. So no, I'd be delighted to have him home full time.
Oh, it's good. It's good to be back though. Thank God. I missed everyone now, but it was good though.
His memories.
Sergeant Sullivan's getting laid tonight, tell you that much. And one of the things that they always say is, oh, the Irish Army doesn't fight anything. Well, your man Sean Rooney died a few years ago, so we do fight, guys. We do get into battles. I believe that the special forces get into shit as well. They get flown overseas. They get put into battle. They have been in the shit before, in different conflicts all over Africa mainly. Okay, that's where the Irish military kind of mainly are. The Middle East and Africa. Peacekeeping, it's great. Now, I don't personally think that any of our soldiers should be put in any harm's way. I don't think that this peacekeeping thing, for me personally, I would do without it, but it's amazing to see that brave soldiers go over there. I don't think that any of these shit countries deserve any of our troops or any of the peacekeeping jobs that we give them, okay? But it's part of our duty in the UN, of course. But yeah, brave soldiers, man, it's amazing to see.
In the bathroom for a couple of days. I have these Clonakilty sausages ready in the fridge and all from.
Good to be home. It's been a long trip, so it's good to be back. Excited to get home now and bring out the bins and cut the grass, all that normal stuff that we missed out on for 6 months.
It's good to see.
Yeah, amazing, guys. Absolute legends, and I just wish they'd promote that stuff more in RT than promoting the bullshit agendas. Like yesterday on News Talk, they were talking about how, if you have an Irish flag, you're a right-wing lunatic. I mean, they actually took that video down because of the backlash. I mean, they call you racist if you fly the tricolour. I mean, this is the kind of shit that's being pushed. Hopefully one day we see that it's just all gone away. But, I'm not very hopeful, I'll be perfectly honest, guys, unless it's pushed back right now as we speak. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all, my beautiful patriots and nationalists of Ireland. Hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.